What really makes you a master of your craft? Is it talent or hard work? This is arguably one of the most debated questions in history, and one that best-selling author Robert Greene tries to answer in his book Mastery. Now, if you're wondering where you've heard the name Robert Greene from, he's authored the more widely known The 48 Laws of Power, which was actually his first book, as well as The Laws of Human Nature, which I think is a very insightful read as well. In total, Greene has written 7 books and Mastery is his 5th, and he has come to be regarded as somewhat of an expert on power strategies. Okay, so Mastery was released in November 2012 and was great success, peaking at number 6 on the New York Times bestseller list. The book itself is divided into 6 sections and analyzes the lives of famous historical and contemporary figures like Charles Darwin, Thomas Edison, Mozart, Benjamin Franklin, Paul Graham, and Freddie Roach to filter out traits that made them masters in their respective fields. Greene's core theme in Mastery is that becoming a master is all about deliberate and sustained effort rather than talent or luck, and that anyone, regardless of their talent, can achieve mastery by following the right strategy. Basically, he is saying none of these accomplished figures you hear about are actually geniuses. You can be just as successful as they were or are if you stick to the process. But what is the process? Mastery breaks down the path to becoming a master into 6 phases, which I will quickly highlight. However, I recommend you read the book for a more in-depth breakdown. So, the first phase is finding your true calling, or in his own words, your life's task. Greene explains that you must first find what deeply motivates you, and then you have to go after it. You can do this by looking back at your interests or things you were drawn to as a child. The second phase is apprenticeship. Essentially, this is the learning stage, where you begin to observe and absorb everything around you. The focus at this point is growing and nurturing your skills rather than getting quick rewards from it. So, if it's your career, for instance, you want to soak up as much relevant knowledge as you can, even if it doesn't mean that you'll get a bigger paycheck at the end of the month or year.
If you spend 8 years focusing deeply on a problem, trying to solve it, working night and day, you're going to accumulate 10,000 hours in 8 years, and it's going to lead to something amazing.
Greene also emphasizes on the need to submit to the learning process, which he argues takes 10,000 hours, or more famously, 10,000-hour rule. The third stage is mentorship, where you seek out someone who will accelerate your learning. Greene describes mentorship as a shortcut to mastery, as you're literally absorbing the master's power. But finding a mentor isn't enough. You have to actively engage with them, asking questions and imitating them. Next, you have the social intelligence phase. Greene describes mastery as going beyond acquiring technical skills. You have to also learn how to read people and understand them, so that you can manage relationships effectively. It is only after you've mastered the basics that you can start experimenting and evolving, a phase he calls the creative active phase. According to Greene, this phase is all about applying what you've spent thousands of hours learning. You're supposed to take risks, solve problems independently, and allow yourself to make mistakes as you go. Doing this will help you develop your own style, and eventually, autonomy in your field. Once you've successfully made it through the 2 phases, you've achieved mastery, or in other words, intuitive power. Your skills are now second nature and you're acting from a point of intuition. At this point, you are a leader and even visionary, making high-level contributions in your field. Aside from Greene's emphasis on slow, deliberate practice to get better over time, Greene warns against common emotional pitfalls that could hold back your progress, like overconfidence, boredom, and complacency. Throughout the book, Greene draws references from figures, such as the ones I mentioned earlier in this video, who he regards as masters in their own craft. A good example is Freddie Roach, who Greene credits for reinventing boxing and basically being a mentor in the boxing space thanks to consistent discipline. Now, I want to say that this is only a short summary of what mastery is about and shouldn't be a replacement for actually reading the book. If you enjoyed this video and want me to make summaries like this in the future, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and definitely comment what book I should talk about next. Before you leave, I highly recommend watching the video here on the screen, where I cover another book that has helped improve income, boost productivity, and spark a greater passion for entrepreneurship. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Catch you on the other side.